Good morning. I'm excited.
Yeah, we have something big news, big circle back news that every one of you are aware of because you've DM'd us on Instagram 1,000 times.
Well, we have that and then 2 new pieces of information that are just I want your opinion on.
Okay.
But of course we saw, guys, one of the handlers on the Annabelle tour mysteriously passed away.
Which is so sad. And so condolences. I don't want to like.
No, we don't want to sensationalize it. I mean, I saw a lot of articles and I didn't really love the way that they were talking about it because we don't know what happened.
Yeah, and it's sad. I mean, this person had a family. They were someone to them. So I want to acknowledge that
100%.
first.
But I think that can coexist with the fact that the optics aren't great.
They're not.
Welcome to Disrespectfully
with Katie Maloney
and Dayna Kathan.
Unapologetically,
We're here to do what we want to do.
spilling the tea.
Babe, you're going to see the power of women. Like,
Disrespectfully.
do you know what I realized last night or a couple nights ago in making a TikTok about this? Whoever you are, if you're out there and you still listen to this podcast that DM'd me and said, you hate the way I say tour. You're right. I do say it weird. And I was going tour. And so I have to say tour. I have to say it like tore a piece of paper. I now have to literally tell myself in my head when I'm saying it, tour. Like, that's it. And I tour.
And Fleur asked me the other day, she goes, wait, how was Dayna saying it? I was like, oh,
no,
tour?
It's bad. And then someone else commented, I think they were trying to be kind, but they're like, I love the way you say tour. And they like phonetically spelled it. And I was like, Anyway, but it is longer than the Heirs tour. And it is confusing to me why she's still running amok. That's the thing.
Yeah, this should have been the last and final straw. How they haven't just thrown her into a fire, unclear.
We talked about this months ago. Like, I feel like this was on this show when this started. It's been months. So I just don't know what the whole point of it was. And now that there is a death, even if it has completely nothing to do with her, which we don't know.
I mean, when all those people escaped the prison when she was there, it's been a series of events at this point, and death should be kind of like the final bugaboo of it all. So I don't know.
Right.
What are we doing here, guys? I understand people love haunted shit. There's insane fandoms dedicated to it, but like at some point, can we collectively decide to throw Annabelle into the fire?
Yeah, I mean, I think that no matter where you stand on the side of paranormal, believing in bad stuff, good stuff, there are some troublemakers out there, okay?
Yeah.
You just know that you wouldn't really want to touch or mess with, namely everything in the Warrens Museum that is, I hear, very cluttered. And they're like, don't touch anything. And I don't have good balance, so you could never catch me there. But yeah. I just think there are some things better left behind bulletproof cases in one place or lit on fire. And the thing is, would she like the fire? I don't even know if she would burn, but whatever we need to do to...
I just don't understand how they think being behind a bulletproof glass case is like containing it. I mean, we don't know how these things move and operate. If it's able to possess a Raggedy Ann doll, like let's assume it's capable of moving through glass.
Well, also let's maybe just open it, take some tongs, stick it in the field, and we can do a firing squad and just see how it goes. Zip tie her hands behind her back and blow her to smithereens.
Oh, create a massive fire pit, climb 1,000,000 stories up high, and then just drop it into the fire.
Very, very deep fire pit.
Yeah, and then bury it.
Yeah,
with cement.
She'd probably be like, it would be her homecoming. But I just feel like
just open up earth and just toss her in.
There's a lot of ways we could go about this. And I think the one thing we shouldn't be doing is taking her places for the general public to interact with.
Exactly.
So I've been staunchly opposed.
I just heard that she did announce co-headlining tour with the Dippix box, though. So can't wait for that.
Are they playing the Forum? I don't know. It's been a bad idea. And now this has happened. So I think we got to stop. We got to stop. Quit while we're ahead. We're already behind.
Yeah, this is fucking insane.
So I don't know. I just feel like even the biggest non-believer, don't you think that they wouldn't give her a hug? I think you're lying.
I think you're lying.
I think you're lying. Give her a hug. I want to give her a kiss.
Yeah. Spend the night. Yeah. Cuddle.
Put her in bed with you. Give her to your kid next time your kid asks for a stuffy.
Oh my God. Well, the biggest takeaway for me, this whole thing, was that I didn't know that Annabelle was a Raggedy Ann doll. I thought it was that doll in The Conjuring or whatever. I thought that depicts Annabelle. I didn't realize I had a Raggedy Ann doll growing up.
No, the day you see it, it's really disappointing, and we understand why she got the glow
up in the
movie.
I wanted her to have evil eyes and one eye they could open and close. The fact that it's just literally Raggedy Ann, I'm like, well, kind of hoping for something a little more sinister.
Little pizzazz. Our family friend got Ro for her birthday this doll, and she opened it right before she was going to wrap it and bring it over, and she was like, I'm sorry, you guys, this doll is weird. It is like pink, but almost like purple looking skin. Like something has gone terribly wrong with it. And it is so scary. I can't explain. I was not about that life when I was
Is it a
there.
baby doll? Or?
Yes, it's a baby doll with a little crib. And I'm like, I cannot believe Brittany is like leaving this doll with them. And we were FaceTiming last night and Lenny just pulled it out. And I literally put the phone down. She thinks it's so funny. But the day she opened it, Lenny was in the other room with it and started like, I can't remember what words she used, but she started talking like this. She's like, maybe I'll see you later. And I was like, we didn't give her context that we thought it was creepy yet. So she's also an intuitive little elf, but.
Okay.
So that was that. But yeah.
What's the other information?
Oh, well, I will say quick last thing about Annabelle. When people first started sending this to me, I Googled it because I didn't believe it. It just because, the people were saying she was missing and there's all this fodder. And also, I think that we need to bring back Googling because so many people run with things that they read and then all of a sudden make it a thing, especially in this AI world. But yeah, so I couldn't believe it was true. Speaking of the kids, my sister is I just want to give this PSA out because moms might know this, but maybe they don't. If you need to get a car seat installed, you can go to your local fire department and they will do it for you because my sister sent me car seats for them. They get in tonight. And I mean, I know you know this, but I'm telling them. And I just went to the fire department around.
As if firefighters weren't daddy enough. They can install car seats. Like everyone just got pregnant hearing that.
Yeah, 100. No, they installed, they said that you're the best place to, what is CPH? I don't know what that is, but they were like, but no, we'll do it. And they're like, yeah, we have kids, whatever. And they were, not gonna lie, they were happy to see me. We had a kiki. They were like, anything else you need? They told me about a pancake breakfast happening in a few weeks. And
so, are you going? Do you have a date with the fire station?
No, but I do.
Why?
Raleigh has a bunch of Zens from the fires that we were distributing to firefighters, and I think I was like, we should go drop the rest of those off at that particular station because it was really nice of them. And see them again.
What are you gonna wear?
Something low cut. I'll tell you that much. But it was,
Something
it was really sweet of them, and I so appreciated it. So I'm sure I could have figured it out, but I just wanted to be careful. So
I wouldn't be confident either. I would want someone who's done it a few times to do it.
I feel like adult light. Like I want a real adult, full sugar to do that for me. I was like,
will they also make like dentist appointments if you ask them to? Will they call your doctor?
I was wondering what else they would do around the house. They actually asked me, they were like, you look really familiar. You look really familiar. He kept saying that. And I was like, well, Chris Medina was over at my place and he was smudging my place and he opened my front door and the second he did it, I was like, because it was really smoky and you're supposed to just open your slider, the entire building. I set the entire building's fire alarm off.
So that's where they recognize you from?
Well, no, I think he recognized me from Vanderpump or something, but he was like conflating that. And I was like, well, maybe it was that. And I just tried, it went off and the group of firefighters came and knocked on my door and they were like, were you lighting sage? And I was like, yep, sure was. So sorry about that. Please don't arrest me. And it went fine. But anyway, so if you need help with that, the other piece of information that I desperately want your opinion about, Coldplay concert. Did you see this, Allison?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
So by the time this comes out, it'll be a week later. But Coldplay was going around kind of like on the Jumbotron, like you would at a basketball game, kiss cam. And it cut to this couple and a man was standing there with a woman in front of him and arms around. And the second they saw that they were on the jumbo screen, her mouth dropped. He turned and ducked.
Yep.
And she fully turned around. And Chris Apple was like, is that his name? It's not Chris Apple.
Chris Martin? His daughter?
His daughter.
No, he's not Chris Apple. That's it.
He was like, okay, I don't know what's going on up there, but I think it's an affair. And they kept the camera for such an uncomfortable.
Do you know that it is confirmed? He's the CEO of some company. She's a CPO.
I have it right here.
He's married to someone else. Apparently his wife's Facebook account was public and there was all sorts of comments. She's deleted photos of him. So
no, I have it right here. Coldplay
crazy.
accidentally exposed an alleged affair between astronomer CEO Andy Byron and his colleague Kristen Cabot at one of their recent concerts. It was just so uncomfortable to watch.
Good.
Good. Obviously.
If you're gonna be that flagrant about your affair in public and then be like, oh my God, we can't put like do you understand that people have eyes? Just because you're not put on a Jumbotron screen, that doesn't mean someone isn't watching all the time. I'm always watching people. That's why I think it's hilarious when people take photos like this. And I'm like, I can see you doing that. I don't know. But I think it was just so reckless and irresponsible with them that like I'm glad they found out.
No, absolutely. But the other thing, to your point, if you're going to go be having an affair, why are you going to any public event and acting that way? Because also they are public figures of some kind. So you're at a Coldplay concert. How many, 40,000, 50,000 people there? What are the odds that you're going to run into someone you know?
Huge.
Do you think that was a situation where they wanted to get caught? Like, what the fuck was that?
I don't know, but
it's pretty
just,
kooky.
Yeah. And apparently the colleague that they're with as well is in like the HR department or something. You know, just corporate America
Oof.
doing its thing. Yeah, no,
The thing is, the way he ducked, that tells me if there was an active shooter situation, he would push her in the way, you know? Like, it's that kind of guy. You can just tell.
Yeah.
He ducked and left her, and then she just turned.
The thing is, had they just kept their shit together and just let no one would be talking about it. It's only because of their like crazy reaction that people are like, what's going on here?
Well, the camera would have panned off them.
Yeah.
It would have been a few seconds. Like, they should, oh my God, but they were just horrified. So I don't know. And that is, I will say, like a 1 in a million chance. So that's pretty crazy.
The universe was really really doing its thing there. And I love it.
I've seen that before though, but usually at like sports games where you can tell like something is up because they get really uncomfortable, or like maybe they're friends, but it's probably
I feel like I've
something
seen
more
it too many times.
illicit. Yeah.
Like that happens so frequently.
Yeah. What are we doing?
I don't know.
What are we doing? Because we've been talking for like a good amount of time.
This is a Hometown Hero WWDD episode. We should probably get to it.
Yeah. Okay.
I could just keep yapping, but
yeah,
I think people want to hear some stories.
Some of their things that they took the time out of their day to write in.
True.
All right, let's do some Hometown Heroes. Colleen says, "Hi, Dana and Katie. Loving the pod. Watch Vanderpump Rules from the jump. Glad to see Katie so happy. Dana, you are so witty and make me laugh. I also love you both have a backbone and aren't afraid to say where you stand with political issues. What a time to be alive." Since Labubus are a hot topic these days, I have to share a story. The first time I heard about Labubus was on your podcast. My son, who is 5, started summer camp, and some of the kids in his class are a little older. Last week, he came home from school all freaked out about a haunted story a girl who is 10 shared. He won't go into any rooms by himself anymore and freaks out about the dark. It's very unlike him. He said she told a story about a haunted monster who is in our house. He said the monster had a big mouth, ear to ear, with teeth and a beak. I was picturing the Joker and could understand why it was unsettling. I thought it was just a creative story that this punk kid told at school to scare the younger kids. I assured him our house isn't haunted, and if it was, I surely would not be living here. I also noted that we have 2 cats, Cat Ladies Unite, that would hunt any monsters down. This morning he brought it up again. I again said they aren't real, and he said, no, I saw it. I asked how, and he said that she brought it to school. Then a light bulb went off in my head. Could this hysteria be about a Labubu? I Googled a picture and showed him. Sure enough, I got confirmation that the dreaded monster is in fact a Labubu. I tried to reason with him, saying that they're actually highly sought after trendy stuffed animals. I explained that it's like a troll, Beanie Baby, or even Transformer. He said, yeah, but it's haunted. It just stares at you. He's not wrong. Labubus do have creepy, judgy eyes. I couldn't help but laugh in my head when I realized this was all over a damn Labubu. I will be talking my son off the ledge all summer that Labubus are not haunted nor infiltrating our house. Labubu could learn a thing or two from Elf on the Shelf's PR strategy. Parenting really keeps you on your toes with silly goose nonsense. Have a great summer. Keep doing what you do. Labubu Exterminator, Colleen.
I thought you would like that.
The reason that I chose this, I can't remember what the demon is called, but allegedly Labubus are based off a demon. Like the guy who created it knew about this thing. And I say allegedly because who knows?
It was some type of like child story lore.
So all these people are like, I rebuke. So who knows? But I thought that was funny that I guess it does make sense. It is scary looking.
Well, I think they're cute.
Not this again. With summer in full swing, I feel that familiar urge to just, refresh my closet, get my summer blacks in, but I'm trying not to waste money on pieces I'll only wear once for just one season. That's where Quince comes in. Their clothes are timeless, feel luxurious, look elevated, and quality is way beyond what you'd expect for this price. It's the kind of wardrobe upgrade that, just clicks.
Think 100% European linen tops starting at $30, washable silk dresses and skirts, and soft cotton sweaters. Versatile warm weather pieces you'll reach for again and again and again.
And again. The best part? Everything with Quince is half the cost of similar brands.
By working directly with top artisans and cutting out the middleman, Quince gives you luxury without the markup. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes.
I just got the black 100% leather oversized bomber jacket, and let me tell you, it's perfect.
For summer?
For summer. You guys have to go check it out.
I definitely will, because so cute. Give your summer closet an upgrade with Quince. Go to quince.com/disrespectfully for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns.
That's QUINCE.com/disrespectfully to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/disrespectfully. If your dog could talk, they'd beg for Ollie. The full body tail wag, the excited little hops, the big goofy grin, that's Ollie effect.
Ollie delivers clean, fresh nutrition in 5 drool-worthy flavors, even for the pickiest eaters. Made in U.S. kitchens with the highest quality human-grade ingredients, Ollie's foods contain no fillers, no preservatives, just real food.
And here's the thing. Healthier food means a happier pup, more energy, shinier coats, better poops, and excitement at mealtime.
We love better poops. With 5 protein-packed recipes like fresh beef with sweet potatoes or fresh turkey with blueberries, even the pickiest eaters can't resist. You might think, dang, my dog eats better than I do. And that's probably true when it comes to Ollie.
Yeah, it probably is. All you gotta do is introduce Ollie to your pup with a 30-second quiz, and they'll create a customized meal plan just for your sweet, sweet baby angel. Plus, Ollie will send you a welcome kit complete with 2 weeks worth of meals, a free storage container, and a guide for how to gradually switch your pup over to their new diet.
Ollie is the only fresh dog food that comes with unlimited routine health screening, so you can get your pup on track to living their healthiest, happiest life.
Dogs deserve the best, and that means fresh, healthy food. Head to ollie.com/disrespectfully, tell them about your dog, and use code disrespectfully to get 60% off your welcome kit when you subscribe today.
Plus, they offer a happiness guarantee on the first box, so if you're not completely satisfied, you'll get your money back. That's ollie.com/disrespectfully and enter code disrespectfully to get 60% off your first box. Kenzie says, hi, gorgeous girlies. Huge fan of you both and the pod. I love listening at work and laughing at my desk like a psycho. Anyways, for the hoe time. This is a story of when I lost my V card. So for backstory, I was a super quiet kid and had some friends, but definitely wasn't popular, especially for a small town. I ended up hooking up with one of my guy friends. He was the school drug dealer. He texted me one night that he was in a cornfield and needed help. My dumb bitch brain was like, yes, we can change him and help him. Let's go. So I lied to my parents about who I was with. I went and picked him up and we had sex in the back of my broken car. After the deed was done, I looked at my phone and I had 15 missed calls from my parents and my friend who my parents thought I was with. My parents had realized I wasn't with my bestie and I didn't warn her what was happening. My parents were so mad at me and I had to explain where I was and what I was doing. So I told them everything. But that wasn't even the worst of it. We didn't even talk for years after that. It was a mess. He turned into a SoundCloud rapper and wrote a song about me called I Miss My Bitch, and then made crack in an air fryer and went to prison. I'm in a happy, healthy relationship and moved away. Hope you ladies enjoyed. K, love you, bye. Kenzie G.
Were you dating Jesse Pinkman?
That's exactly what I was picturing in my mind.
Did you?
Yeah.
Crack in a
Air fryer.
air fryer. It sounds dangerous.
Absolutely.
Also, there's a guy on TikTok right now that's doing impressions of Jesse Pinkman, and it might be Jesse Pinkman. It's the funniest thing ever. He like puts him in normal everyday scenarios.
My favorite is the guy that does the Bad Bunny impressions.
Love him too. Are you who sent me that?
I sent you.
Yeah, he's super funny. Yeah, the drug dealer to SoundCloud rapper pipeline. It's an epidemic.
It is.
Anonymous says, Queens of the Coven, I love you and this podcast dearly. Please tour and come to Minneapolis. I am so traumatized by the T word. I just don't even know what to do. I went to my first sex party, a femdom party. Here are the highlights. I saran wrapped a man to a bench and put clothespins on his nipples. I kept a man's anal cavity open by fisting him, was wearing gloves, thank God, so he was ready and prepared for a big-ass dildo to take my hand's place. I used a taser-like device on a man strapped into a St. Andrew's cross. I only did it once because, to be honest, it was a bit much for me, but the femdom encouraged me to just touch his back. His body was already so full of electricity, he literally sent shockwaves through my finger.
Oh my God.
By the end of the night, I was just sitting on a couch eating Triscuits, watching a femdom nearly suffocate a man covering his nose and mouth. Was it the stinky hiking boot? He got off on smelly feet, I guess. XOXO, a curious Coven member. Okay, the reason I chose this is
Curious indeed.
because are there any other curious people who have sex party stories? I think we'd like to hear those. So if you have any experience, or if you're a dominatrix, I'd like to hear from you.
Would you go to one of these parties?
What do you think?
I think you would want to. I don't think that you actually would though.
I almost have. My friend
exactly. I think you almost would.
A friend of a friend, she used to put them on, but I don't know, it kind of gave, what's that Eyes Wide Shut meets furry, that it kind of like freaked me out, but I think in the right scenario I would. You don't think you'd ever would?
No, I wouldn't, but I can't see you going. I see you being curious and wanting to just like watch a million documentaries on it, but I think just knowing how you are, you can get shy about it.
It's possible, but I'm also like, I'm not saying no to anything. So I'm not taking anything off the table. I don't want to limit myself. Maybe
All
someday.
right.
We'll see. Especially if I could beat up men. Sounds great.
Okay.
Do I need to become a dominatrix? Like, truly.
Try it.
Maybe. I'm like, is there a training program? I don't know. Do you intern? I don't know what you do. I don't know. I'll look into it.
YouTube University. So they them says, hi, Katie and Dana. I'm 23 female and honestly only a recent listener of the pod, but you guys never fail to make my day. I love how you two always stand on business for yourselves and others, and you guys are so articulate when explaining complicated situations. Once I started hearing some Heauxmetown Hero stories, I knew I had to send in my disaster shroom experience. I hope you guys can find it funny.
Oh no.
Last May, my friends and I decided to do some shrooms to celebrate our final month of college. 2 of our friends had done it before, and the other 4 of us had never done shrooms, but we smoked plenty of weed. We got a chocolate bar to split from a trusted dispensary that my friends had positive experience with in the past. Since one person got added on last minute, myself and another girl, we'll call her E, took half of the microdose while everyone else took enough for a regular microdose. E and I didn't feel or experience anything, but everyone else was having a great time. That's when the shroom veteran said, I want to continue this feeling, we should get more. The problem, obviously none of us could drive 25 minutes to the reservation to get the same shrooms. Solution, walk to the sketchy corner store down the street that always sells illegal shit. Who was sent on this walk, you may ask? E, myself, and another friend who had never done shrooms. To justify our reasoning, I will have to break down some math for y'all. The chocolate bar contained psilocybin, chemical compound present in your average shroom. And for a microdose/light dose, everyone took about 250 milligrams. The mushroom gummies we bought at the sketchy convenience store were 500 milligrams apiece. So the numbers would work out perfectly, right? E and I each chose to take a full gummy and then a tiny bit more for the fuck of it all. We got back, everyone else took a gummy as well. I had a nice time for about 20 minutes and things got what I could only describe as Scooby-Doo but sinister. Like, all the colors around me were vibrant and giving Scooby-Doo color themes, but there was simply a sinister vibe looming over me. I told my friends I wasn't having a good time and soon felt like I existed between every plane and that dimensions existed on a pixelated TV screen with hundreds of boxes. Soon enough, everyone else started to feel the same way. We were like, what the fuck did we take? It was at this point we finally called a trusted friend to trip sit and to help us through. We went inside and put on the movie Cars, and he helped us with some breathing exercises. I laid on my back on the couch, alternating between staring at the ceiling and closing my eyes, hoping I would just fall asleep. 2 friends somehow were making butter noodles in the kitchen. 2 more friends were laying on the floor, and E was curled up in a ball in the corner for like 40 minutes straight. I kept trying to tell myself that I'd already hit the worst of it, that could only get calmer from there. But the worst of it did, in fact, last 3 hours. Jesus Christ. If I was recalling a visual memory in my head, it was normal. But if I was generating a new image in my brain, it was only in grayscale. It felt like that scene in Inside Out when they all become 2D. Little helped to ground me, and I feared death was imminent several times. Everything seemed like it was spinning and evoked the feeling of being the only one awake at a sleepover as a kid with the TV glowing. It's something I would only wish on my worst of enemies. I called off work the following morning citing food poisoning, which is not completely untrue. I was poisoned by a gummy. Our first words to each other after waking up were, "We're the stupidest people on the planet." The experience kind of lasted into the next day where my friend and I had to sit through a world theater history lecture class, delirious as fuck. I was anxious and shitting the entire day and contemplated how in the world I could be so fucking dumb. Our trip sitter friend explained to us that we actually consumed amanita mushrooms. I don't know what that is, but amanita mushrooms from the gummies, which is a completely different and has effects closer to marijuana, hence why I felt like I took a bad edible. The kicker? The recommended dose for Amanita, also known as death cap shrooms, is 15 to 20 milligrams. Reminder, we all took 500. I think E and I ended up closer to 600 with that idiotic extra bite, but not that it probably made much of a difference at that point. Bottom line, I survived. I had a massive lesson in hubris, and please don't take more mushrooms after you've already taken them.
Don't tell me what to do.
We thanked our trip-sitting friend endlessly, and he is now my roommate and best friend in a new city. I hope you guys found this entertaining and that you're both doing great. Much love. So, I mean, that is a nightmare. That is everyone's worst nightmare, and that's why I just have to explain to people, like, just go slow. You can always take more. You can't take away once you take them. And the way they were describing like the visuals of it all, it was so perfect of when the shrooms really decide to turn on you. I haven't had it that bad, but like I get where she was coming from.
I mean, it's kind of a like do as I say, not as I do situation. So yeah, don't take more. But in my freshman year of college, these guys, this was back before microdosing was popular. Like people were just dosing.
Yeah.
But what they tried to do is a dollar bill weighs a gram. So a gram of, it was like the actual mushrooms, no chocolate. So they tried to weigh it like that. And they were like, okay, this feels about this. I guarantee you an ego death dose of mushrooms is 4 grams. So I guarantee you they had 4 or more. And I kept hearing this like jogging and I popped my head out and they were sprinting down. They had the zoomies and were like out of their minds. So I felt like I've never had it that bad.
No, that's crazy.
But I think I've told the story before where it was like a random Saturday and I had nothing to do. And I took some and was working on a puzzle and was like, I'm just going to watch Disney movies. Took too much. My sister sent me a ring cam video. At the time, Lenny was maybe 1. She was in a stroller and the nanny, they had this like small cement porch. And the nanny, the second she put the stroller on the thing, in my head was like, and the mushrooms were just starting to hit. I was like, she didn't put the brake on. And she's fiddling with the keys and Lenny slowly goes back and falls off the porch. Luckily, it was only like 4 steps and she landed on and she was strapped in the stroller. So she was okay. It fucked my journey up. And so I ended up just having to lay on my back like Nosferatu. And then I just felt really scared.
Like me taking a nap.
The Lion King was playing in the background and the puzzles started to turn on me too. Like all these pieces were fucked up. But
no. Moral of the story, just
be careful.
A little at a time.
And a buddy system is a great idea.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what I was thinking, but sometimes I get a wild hair and do stupid shit.
You do.
So.
And you're just like, I'm like, maybe don't. Maybe let's just wait it out. And you're like, I'm really glad I didn't do that. I'm like, yeah.
Anonymous says, hey, a while back you guys asked for celeb stories and I've got one that's fun to share. To set the scene, it's August 2011. I'm 17 years old and Nicki Minaj's iconic debut album, Pink Friday, was all the rage. So I found out she's performing in Central Park for Good Morning America's summer concert series, and I had to go. My angel of a mother got us tickets and agreed to bring me and my bestie to the 7 a.m. show, which was the day after we got back from a family vacation to Hershey Park. When the morning finally arrived, we were pumped. It didn't matter that we were running on no sleep and definitely a bit dehydrated from the family vacay, or so I thought. Now, fun fact about me. I've passed out random times in my life. Something I now know is due to a condition called POTS, but at the time I had no explanation for it. Have you heard of this?
No.
POTS? I just learned about it at some app that I'm not going to talk about right now. But yeah, it's a fainting disorder and it goes undiagnosed for a long time a lot of times.
What's like the scientific, because I think I have a friend that has that actually and she can't drive.
Some people need emotional or not emotional support animal, but service. Yeah, some people need.
Because when she told me she had it, she used like the full scientific, and I was like, what?
Postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome.
Damn, that's a mouthful.
Yeah, anyway, lighthead, faint, and I think it's varying degrees of it. But yeah, so it makes sense to me that this person didn't know. Nicki Minaj starts warming up and almost instantly I feel unstable. Did I say anything to my mom or best friend? Of course not. Nothing was going to ruin this moment. A few more minutes go by. I'm sweating from every pore. My ears are ringing, whole body's shaking, and then it happens. My vision goes black and I'm a goner. I wake up seconds later and my mom and BFF are flagging a security guard to help. They rush us out of the crowd. I was not only embarrassed, but also devastated thinking that was the end of our Nicki adventure. But boy, was I wrong. The incredibly kind security guard let us enjoy the entire show from the VIP section backstage while I got checked out by the medical team. After the performance, Nicki stopped by to make sure I was okay, gave me a towel for all of the sweat, and of course, I saved it forever, and signed my best friend's titty. 14 years later, we live together and still laugh about how me passing out resulted in backstage passes to meet Nicki Minaj. Thanks for reading. XOXO. Have you ever full-blown passed out?
No.
I've never I get lightheaded, but I've never actually fainted. That must be such a scary feeling.
I know every time in Pilates when I get off the reformer, I feel like I'm about to faint, but I don't think that's the same thing.
A little, honestly, Courtney might have POTS because growing up our whole life, she's always been a fainter. Like her mom would do her hair when she was younger and she would pass out for no reason. And I remember one time, sororities are so creepy. Initiation, so creepy. But you're all like smushed in the chapter room together when you're like initiating new people. And she just fully fainted and it's supposed to be this like sacred thing. So we had to like drag her carcass into the hall out of the chapter room. And I took her in the bathroom and was like pouring water in her face and slapping her.
Jesus.
Maybe she has POTS. Well, those were great. Thanks for sending them in.
Keep them coming.
Should we do some WWDD?
Yeah, let's do it.
A says, "Hey, Katie and Dana, I love you both. I don't want to waste time. It's kind of long, but I really hope you can help. My problem is I'm stuck in a toxic relationship and I don't know what to do. He's been physical in past arguments. That should have been my first clue to leave, but he was a friend helping me out initially. 2 days into his help, he tells me he has feelings for me. I didn't know what to do. I didn't want a relationship, but I had nowhere to go. There's a rift between my family and I due to past relationship from years ago. They chose to continue to talk to my ex, and it just made me overall uncomfortable, so I had nobody to turn to ask for help. He was only there for me in my time of need with a lot, so I kind of gave in and gave dating him a try. Boy, do I regret it. It's been nothing but constant fighting and just overall an uncomfortable situation. We have a 2-bedroom apartment with 1 bedroom's worth of stuff, so sometimes I'll sleep on the couch to get away from him. Our lease is up soon, and they sent out the renewal paperwork way ahead, and I clearly don't want to live with him, but when I hinted at breaking up, he said he will stop being fair and make everything 50-50. I thought it was, so I'm trying to keep him calm for now and just take my shit and leave, but how do I tell my apartment not to renew the lease without him knowing? I currently live in a shitty part of Iowa where it's racist and homophobic. I check the boxes being Hispanic and gay. I want to tell the apartment manager directly and be honest, but I'm afraid she'll slip and mention me not being on the lease again or something. I've interacted with her before and she's not that pleasant. I'm a huge overthinker and need help. I hope this makes it on the pod because I truly value your advice and love you both so much. Thank you for taking the time to read this. A. Also, side note, my family isn't an option for any help. I've tried. They truly want to see me fail. I haven't spoken to them in a year because of their choices, and they decided to put out a missing persons on me. I'm not missing. I want nothing to do with them.
Damn.
Okay, well, first of all, A, I am sorry that you're in that situation, and that's upsetting. And I think the overarching theme here is going to be you definitely need to get out of it. I know it's not that simple because of the variables that you described. I think that when you're signing a lease, that your partner could re-sign it, but unless you sign it yourself too, you are not on the lease. So I would say, first of all, I know your family's an option, but do you have any friends, anyone you trust? Because you need boots on the ground. Someone else needs to know about this situation beyond the apartment manager, just so you have support and that can maybe help you facilitate the leaving process. If you don't feel like you have any friends, I know that there are community resources, and this is going to sound maybe silly because I just got my library card, but I know that libraries also have different types of social worker type resources. And so you can maybe learn about it there. There are community things that you can reach out to, but I definitely think you need to tell someone or have someone helping you with this. They can also possibly help you get set up on your own with different programs so you're not forced to be in this situation. But I think that even if the apartment manager is unpleasant, I think it would be worth mentioning to them. Like, I don't think that they would want to put you in an unsafe situation. So letting them know, like, I'm not going to be resigning this lease. I feel like I'm in danger. I'm trying to get it figured out right now. I mean, what do you think?
I mean, I know he's described that basically that because of the family situation, choosing the ex, then saying I had nobody to turn to or ask for help. So I feel bad that you don't have those people in your life. I'm wondering if there's anyone you could think of, people you work with, places in your community, places that you frequent often. I guess desperate times call for desperate measures. And this is one of those times that you could ask someone that you feel that you could trust, even if you don't know them that well. I know you live in a part of the country or a state or city that is homophobic and racist, and that's got to feel very isolating on top of everything you're already feeling. So I just kind of agree with everything you're saying. Try to find somebody that you think you can trust or somebody you think that could look out for you, or find out what community resources are, because I'm happy that you're recognizing this is something that you need to leave.
You're kind of on a clock, right? Like this is, I understand
Yeah.
that it's a timely situation. So I know, again, it sounds silly, but like also the people that work in libraries are really nice and they want to help, and there's a wealth of information, and they, even if they can't help you, I'm sure they can direct you to someone who can. So
Mhm.
we're both really sorry you're going through this. It sucks, but I think as long as you emphasize to the apartment manager your situation, I don't think they would want to put you in harm's way, even if they're not like nice to talk to.
Exactly. Hopefully they're not completely inhumane.
And also, I think you're just going to have to trust your gut on that. If you know this person and you think that they're a total dickhead, then you might have to play it close to the vest, but then that's why you need to set up some type of infrastructure of people that can support you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We love you so much.
Yeah, we do.
Good luck
Thank
with everything.
you.
Recently, my body's been telling me something was off. My skin has lost its natural glow. No amount of water could keep me hydrated. My energy is just, I don't know, all over the place. Tired in the mornings, crashing in the afternoons, wired at night. Definitely sounds like me. No matter how many expensive skincare products I tried or how much coffee I drank, nothing was really working.
Yeah, that song is literally about me.
I know.
Then we found Peak's Radiant Skin Duo, and let me tell you, it's been a game changer. This doctor-recommended duo, backed by experts like Dr. Mark Hyman, Dr. Jason Fung, and Dr. Will Cole, is designed to deeply hydrate, boost energy, and support whole body wellness from the inside out. And with over 15,000 five-star reviews, I knew I had to try it, and wow, within weeks, I felt the difference.
Yeah, you did. You're just so hot. Sun Goddess Matcha is my daily energy saver. Unlike coffee, which left me jittery and crashing, it gives me a calm, sustained energy that lasts all day. It's packed with L-theanine for focus and EGCG antioxidants that support firm, clear skin and gut health because, let's be real, great skin starts in the gut. I used to bloat after meals, and now my digestion, so much better.
Oh, nice.
Hot girls have tummy issues.
BT Fountain Electrolytes. This is hydration on another level. I used to drink so much water and still feel dry and depleted by midday. Turns out my body just wasn't absorbing it properly. BT Fountain has clinically proven ceramides that actually lock in moisture at a cellular level, keeping my skin and body hydrated from the inside out. And the glow? Insane. My skin has never looked so plump, fresh, and dewy.
And let's talk about purity, because not all wellness products are created equal. Peak goes above and beyond with quadruple toxin screening, measuring every ingredient, is tested for heavy metals, pesticides, and mold, because ew. No artificial junk, no sugar, just clean, science-backed hydration and energy.
I feel more hydrated, more energized, and more myself than I have in years. No more waking up exhausted, no more dull, dry skin, no more energy crashes.
If you're tired of feeling depleted and want to finally nourish your body the right way, now's the time. Get 20% off plus a free rechargeable frother and glass beaker with our exclusive link, peaklife.com/disrespectfully. That's PIQUE life.com/disrespectfully.
Do not sleep on this. Your body and skin will thank you. Heather says, update. Hello, darlings. I wanted to give you an update on the amazing advice you gave me a few months ago. If you could, I'd love for you to call up Fleur and loop her in as well. Fleur's traveling right now.
Well, Fleur's listening, so.
Okay. Since she was the one who read my email and her quoting Tom Hardy in Inception, you mustn't be afraid to dream a little bigger, darling, runs like a mantra through my mind weekly. Since hearing your advice, I've gone completely no contact with my ex and have not even been a little tempted to reach out to him. Thank you for being the final push. I've been on several hangouts with the new dude, Elder Nerdy Emo. Love to hear. But the advice of he's not as special as you think he is really helped me. Oh, okay.
I remember this, like vaguely from that.
Yeah. Thank you for getting me to take him off the proverbial pedestal and look at him as just another dude. I realized whilst hanging out, and perhaps the first time in my life, that I was also in the position of deciding if I liked him romantically as well. He didn't hold all the cards. Exactly. Lo and behold, I realized he works so much better as just casual friends, and I've taken to dating myself again. His, oh my God, he's so hot bubble has popped, and guess what? I'm hot too, dude.
Yes.
Hell yeah. I just wanted to thank you for your advice and let you know what a difference it's truly made for me. I re-listen to the episode when I'm feeling spirally or like I'm being too much, and it reminds me that even people who are objective and don't know me personally still saw my worth through my story. Please know that you've made a difference in a significant way, and your connection to your listeners matters. Love you and mean it. Lots of light, Heather. I could cry.
No, I love that.
I'm so happy
much.
for you. I mean, like, listen, sometimes these lessons are hard to learn, and we have all the knowledge and resource there to tools to get us through that, but sometimes we just don't want to because we're feeling insecure, or we don't feel like we deserve that. But like the reminder from yourself or even strangers in a podcast, sometimes it's all you need.
Well, sometimes it's you can't see the forest through the trees. The person who told me that 2 years ago was a medium.
Wait, you can't see the forest through the trees?
You can't see the forest through the trees. It's a saying, like you're too close to it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So same thing with like, what's the one about the elephant? I don't know. You get what I'm saying. But standing too close to the elephant, you can't see the fucking elephant because you're right in front of it. So she told me that, the taking him off a pedestal, because I was dating someone and I was so going through it that I asked her in our session. It was like one of the questions I had. I was like, did I make the right decision in ending it? And she was like, absolutely. And I was like, yeah, it's hard because this person's special and blah, blah. And she was like, they aren't special. That's you. You put people on a pedestal, which is the most true thing I've ever heard about my dating pattern. And it was like a
it's like
light bulb
when
moment.
they ask you to reflect, they're like, oh, in those conversations that you're laughing and it's great and have, like, who's the one that's driving the conversations and being funny and coming up with the topics? You are. You're the funny person in this. You're the reason why you're enjoying it so much. But like when someone's not reciprocating in that, you know what I mean.
Okay, well, I love that circle back. Thanks for writing in. Really happy to hear that.
Thanks for updating. We're super proud of you.
Love to see it.
Yes.
Anonymous says, hi, Katie and Dana. Please keep me anonymous. I am a year and a half sober. It was the hardest thing I've ever done. My problem is my mom is not. She gets drunk daily and sends me horrific texts about the worst parts of my addiction. She blackmails me with videos of me drunk that she supposedly has. She threatens to take my children away. She is unhoused with no job or plan and blames me for it. She constantly needs money and begs to move in with me. My question is it time to cut her off? WWDD. P.S. I was her drinking partner for years, and I think me getting sober has made her mad. Thanks. First of all, so proud of you for getting sober. That is no easy feat, and it's amazing that a year and a half that's a long time. So good for you. Anyone in your life that's angry about your sobriety is feeling that way because you're reflecting to them their own problem with drinking. And it's obvious that it runs in your family. She has an addiction, and that's why she's feeling mad about it, because any normal person would just want you to be healthy and well and be super supportive of you making choices to move yourself in that direction. I think it is time to cut her off. She can threaten you all she wants. It's weird. And I think that her moving in with you would be a huge mistake. At some point, we have to take responsibility for who we are on planet Earth. And this is literally your parent. So they're an adult. They need to figure it out. And it's really hard to watch. And I think that you need to protect your sobriety at all costs right now. And I think that this is something that could threaten that. It
could completely destabilize your life. And I think you are aware of that. And I think prioritizing your sobriety is the most important thing you should do right now. Because let's face it, misery loves company. People love when they're in that echo chamber of negativity. It's confirming all of their sick thoughts and feelings about their life. And it's sad because it's just, I hate to see when people get to that stage in life and they just want to they want to be angry. They want to be haters. Like it's a mentality that is a disease. So I think, don't let her in.
Yeah, we're proud of you. Just take that away. That's amazing.
Courtney says, hi, ladies. Chronically single, child-free 30-something millennial checking in. Two things first. One, your podcast is by far my favorite to listen to on my mind-numbing commute from Santa Clarita to the west side. You get it. That is brutal.
A long one.
And I just feel like I'm gabbing and cackling with my girlfriends. And two, I was the listener who went to see Michelle at Brainwash LA and told her about Katie's visits. She's a peach, and I highly recommend any LA Coven members check her out. I'm so happy you enjoyed it. You got to take out those extensions.
I know. I think about it at least once a week.
It was one of the most lovely experiences. I can't describe it.
Also, anyway. I love the name Brainwash for that business. That's so cute.
You feel like you're getting your brain washed. Yeah. It's amazing. On to my WWDD. Have you ladies or any of your girlfriends ever done a travel group or traveled solo, either international or even just outside your home state? For the first time in a long time, I'm financially stable and actively saving while making excess money. Like when my paycheck hits, there's still money there. It's a great feeling.
Hell yeah.
I love traveling and want to travel more than I have been able to in the past, but my friends either are having kids and I have no interest in traveling with children right now, or trying to pin down friends' schedules. I'm not trying to plan a trip for 2 years from now. Yes, some of my friends are booked months in advance. Or agree on a budget is hard. I get frustrated and just end up not doing anything. I have no issue with doing solo stuff around town, restaurants, movies, shows. I love it. But as a woman, I've always been afraid to travel alone. Obvious safety concerns. More and more, I'm seeing travel companies that cater to solo travelers or travel groups that offer solo rooms. They're a little pricey than if you normally book on your own, but safety in numbers. I'm just wondering if either you or anyone you know has done one and can either recommend one or just share the experience, or hell, talk me into this Lake Como trip I'm eyeing. XOXOXO, Courtney. Go to Lake Como.
Go to Lake Como.
I've never been.
immediately.
I always want to go. Listen, I understand that there is danger in traveling alone. There's danger in leaving your house. But if we live in those fears, we're never going to experience the things that we really truly want to. And I think it's just being brave and being very, very vigilant. Like, it seems like you are already aware of a lot of the potential things that could go wrong and things to look out for. So I think just keeping those in mind and sharing your location with people and checking with people while you're traveling. Because I mean, even on these like group trip things, like, you don't know who's coming on those things, and there could be some predatory people. Not that I want to put that in your brain, but like anything, I think if you travel on your own, you're able to do things that you want to do, and you're not at the best of like some itinerary. I don't know.
Yeah, I think when I started traveling a ton over the past 5 years or so, I have come to realize, but I live in Los Angeles, so I was thinking, oh, am I going to feel safe? I feel safe everywhere I go, like everywhere I've gone. And you can also research. I think Lake Como is a pretty safe bet. I have just been fortunate that I've always had a friend that is on the same timeline or
Same.
whatever, but I would 100% travel alone, and I probably will in my life. And I think that we shouldn't stop ourselves from seeing the world or doing the thing, especially if you can't decide on a budget. That's a really important thing about travel. You have to travel with people that want to travel the same way you do.
Mm-hmm.
But also a travel group, yeah, I think why not? I think solo rooms, super important. I would never do a hostel or be like,
Yeah, I would not do
I
like
wouldn't share my space with anyone. But
as a solo person. Yeah, 100%. But I mean, like, if some of these companies are like, I don't know, read the reviews, read what people have said, and I think that's the best thing you can do. I mean, I don't know any personally.
Reddit
but-
is a good resource for that.
Yeah.
The Clock app. But do some research. You can do it. Absolutely go. Go to Lake Como immediately. I hope by the time you read this, you're sipping an Aperol Spritz on the lake.
Having some limoncello.
Oh,
And let us know how it is.
Yeah. Great.
Fuck, I'll go to fucking Lake
yeah,
Como
we'll
with
come
you.
with you. I can't wait. I know I've never been either, and that is definitely on my list.
It's on the short list.
Samantha says, I'll preface this by saying it's long and that I'm a therapist. I have intellectual understanding of what likely my course is. I just think I need to hear from women I admire and respect. Katie, we're similar. My divorce is very amicable with low regrets, but knew he never was my counterpart. It wasn't to your extreme, but I'm also strong, indigestible woman who is married to an affable, lovable, likable man. I love your statement and use it often. If someone doesn't like me, they can choke on it.
Amen.
I was married a lot of years, over a decade. He's an amazing human, but not my human. I was then dropped into a COVID and post-COVID dating culture, and it did not suit me. I had my hoe days, and I'll definitely send a mix of those and poop stories if you want. I sent one in before it wasn't read where I shit my pants in Rome right before a pasta making class. You guys resend.
Yeah.
But in general, I'm a one dick woman in an anonymous dick world. Even my casual connections verge on monogamous. I don't shame the one night stand game, but I'm more a DIY. I'll like it better alone or with someone I know. My question is both easy and complex. Aside from toxic dating apps, how can I meet quality men? I'm 39, semi-passively attractive. Don't talk about our listener that way.
Mhm.
You are hot, I know it. But also highly in my successful queen era that seems so threatening in this dating culture. What do you recommend for meeting men of an equal caliber? I'm not a snob, but a 22-year-old Dairy Queen manager isn't on my level career-wise. And that seems to make up the majority of today's available men. Yes, I'm happy alone, but ultimately I prefer an actual partner. Any tips? By the way, Dayna, I need you to know your grief story with your mom has helped me in my 3-year grief journey with my uncle father figure. Keep sharing. We're listening. Love you both. Okay, bye. Samantha. Okay, first of all, snaps to a baddie when we see one. Love this. And you shouldn't lower your standards at all. It's just like we were talking about with travel compatibility, relationship compatibility. Some people, it doesn't bother when there's a big difference in what we are doing for a career, driven, the money of it all. But sometimes it does matter.
If it's important to you, it's important to you.
And so keep that pillar in what you're looking for. I think, look, dating is hard. And unless you have been single in the last 5 years, you really don't understand. People do not understand the landscape. Like my friends back home who are in long-term relationships are, and I'm not saying this to be a hater, I love them, but are so out of touch when they're trying to talk to me about like what is happening right now. So obviously I feel that for you. I relate to you in that way. I don't unfortunately think there's a magic thing. Like I could be like, go to a farmer's market, go to a bar, go to whatever. I do think it is just happenstance unless you want to use dating apps. And I do think dating apps work for some people, but there is a level of toxicity to it. So I think you just have to know where you are and stay open. And it's really frustrating. I turn 35 next week and I legitimately feel no hope that I will meet my person. And I, at this point, just feel like it's my lot in life to be alone. And in a way that I'm like so okay with it. But like the only nice thing that's come out of that for me is I'm not looking. Like I used to say I wasn't looking and my head would be on a swivel, but I just really do trust whatever is going to happen is going to happen. So I'm just ready to let my life be whatever it should be. But I would love a partner. That'd be great. But I just unfortunately I don't think there's a magic
I don't think
sauce to
there
this.
is either. I mean, okay, I
That's why you
understand.
said it's both simple and complex because it is.
It is, because I know what it's like coming out of a long-term relationship, having not been single for, like over a decade. The landscape absolutely has changed, COVID, post-COVID, dating app culture. So it can be really difficult because you're like, what's happening here? And it can be uncomfortable, obviously. And coming also out of like a relationship like that, like you are so sure of yourself and what you don't want and what you do want, that like you want to remain firm on those things, because at this point, like you chose to leave a whole marriage because of what was happening. So you have no problem with just being by yourself rather than being with the wrong person, clearly. There is no like go here and do this, and there's no recipe for finding quality person. I think ask your friends if they know anyone, and they might not be like their best friend or something like that, but they might be like, you know what, there's this guy who works at this place, or I sort of know through my cousin. I don't know. They just might have like heard of somebody that they think would be a good fit. And I think that is the best way, because they're kind of already vetted. People know their history a little bit. Because I think, the people that have been circulating in the dating scene on those apps are, I'm not saying everyone's single, but I mean, some of the men out there, like they don't want to commit. They want to just keep playing the field. They're Peter Pans out there. But I also think like there's men that are like you that are winding up in a divorce because they weren't happy and they wanted more. They wanted something different. And I think that's where you find your person. I don't know how many years ago was this. I got to a point where I was just like, you know what? I think my person's like probably like just not available and free. And I was kind of correct on that. I just kind of like saw what was out there and I was like, I'm just going to hold off and trust that like my person will present themselves. Yeah. So I just think don't like stand on standards and just keep your heart open.
And I would say the like corny piece of throwaway advice would be, if you want to meet people who are like you, spend time in places where those people would be. So I don't know where you live, maybe looking into getting into new activities or trying new things, all great ideas, but it's also, it's a balancing act of setting expectations for, getting out there and seeing what happens, and also just letting it happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you're hot and cool and we love you.
Thanks for writing in. Hope this helps. Angie says, hey, Katie and Dana, I want to start by telling you that I've been in a really bad depression lately and have been self-isolating, and there's something about your pod that is so comforting. It makes me feel like I'm sitting with friends. I guess I'm looking for some advice today. I'm 31, never been married, no kids. I've always been a relationship girly and basically haven't been single and alone for more than a few weeks at a time since I was 17. That being said, I've accepted the bare minimum in each of my long-term relationships. I'm about ready to leave my current one of almost 4 years. I never feel loved by him, and bare minimum is really more than he's willing to give, if I'm being honest. My question is, why am I finding it so hard to leave and finally be alone when I'm pretty sure it's exactly what my soul needs? I'm terrified to go through life alone and face the possibility of never marrying or having kids, and I feel too old to find anyone good who isn't already taken or has several baby mamas. I'm also scared. I'm not even sure who I am without a man trying to control my every move. Do you guys have any advice for this transition I'm trying to work up the strength to make? Also, if I ever do finally leave him, I'm scared I'll never want a man again. I'm becoming so disgusted by them. You both are incredibly strong women, and any advice on how you navigated these feelings and fears of being alone, never having kids would be so helpful. Thank you so much. BPR is my favorite comfort show. Thank you so much for your time. Your question about why you're finding it so hard to leave, you answered because you're scared. And I think when you kind of gone through like relationship, you don't know how to like come back to yourself. You kind of don't know yourself very well, and it can be a scary thing to work on your relationship with yourself because you have to like unpack a lot of like of your own personal issues. There's a lot of shadow work that happens there, but I think it is so critical, especially at your age, at being 31, to work on that relationship with yourself outside of a romantic relationship, because that it seems like you've been influenced a lot by that in the past because you've accepted people just for like what they're willing to give you and not what you actually need. Find out what you need. Find out what you like. Find out what matters to you. Like revisit all of those things. And then I think you'll find yourself getting more confident and feeling more good inside a relationship, outside a relationship. I think just like connecting with yourself and your identity is what you need the most right now. And it can be scary. It can be uncomfortable. It can be lonely. But I think therapy is a great place to get tools to get through that. Friendships, just, leaning on people, having a support system is critical.
Yeah, I have a lot to say on this one. I think that, first of all, you're seen. It is scary.
Mhm.
It's like that saying, we sometimes choose the chaos we know rather than the calm that we don't.
Yeah.
So dump this bozo immediately.
Yeah.
Got to get out of it. You're disgusted by men because you've been picking the same men. So got to get away from that.
It's a pattern.
Highly, highly, highly encourage you to stay single for a while. Like Katie said, do that hard inner work. Also, I want to point out to you, 31 is young. 31 is so young. Again, I turn 35 next week. Take it from your older sis when I say I ruined dating for myself in my late 20s and early 30s because I was so scared of not being a mom, but I hadn't even unpacked myself. And it might be different for you if like I'm at a place in my life where I'm just not sure. And if I did, it would only be a very perfect scenario. And I don't know. But my point about that is facing that fear helped me tremendously because yeah, that could happen. There are some people that want kids that don't end up having them, and that sucks. But what else is your life going to be if that doesn't happen? And I'm not trying to scare you because you will likely get what you want in life. But as women, we are just there's so much pressure on us at this time in our lives to figure that out. And I understand the clock is ticking, whatever. But you, I'm guessing, will find yourself in an unfulfilling relationship with a partner that doesn't deserve you if you are only a heat-seeking missile for this goal. I'm telling you right now, so many people I know, so many people in the world end up in relationships. And again, when we're talking about a straight relationship, and it's a design of the patriarchy to scare women at this age into settling to uphold their system so that we take on all this, the labor in the house and do all the
and
things
the
and whatever.
emotional labor too of it all, because men don't want to.
Right. I
lift.
think someone said recently, and it's true, I'm not saying all men, but they were like, I think that a lot of men look at having kids like having a pet. Like it's a status symbol. It's something you love and it fulfills certain emotional needs, but it's like you're raising a human that's going to be its whole autonomous person someday. So anywho, I understand you're scared. It's okay. If I could go back in time and tell 31-year-old me anything, first, it would be chill. Second of all, it would be read the book Attached. Third, it would be let what happens happen. You're going for losers that are never going to emotionally fulfill you, that don't deserve you, that treat you like shit because you're just trying to meet the societal standard. And the second I let that go, I became free.
Yeah, and I don't look at it as like having a void in your life, because you know how miserable it can be in a relationship that you're not fulfilled in. So like subscribe to the belief that you'd rather be alone than with the wrong person.
Yeah.
And believe that, because that is 100% the truth. And you know it because you've already experienced it relationship after relationship after relationship.
Right.
Hope it helps.
Hope that helps. I mean, I'm, again, 35-year-old queer Catwoman. So I'm like Fox News' wet dream about, what they define as a monster or a loser. But I have never been happier or more comfortable with who I am. And it feels really nice. So
hell yeah.
We have faith in you. We love you so much.
We love you.
Well, I think that's
all
the episode. Should we go do Pilates?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, have a good weekend, everybody. Okay, love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
babe, you're gonna see the power of women. Like,
Disrespectfully.